For the most part, people are more inclined to suffer than to fight to remove the cause of suffering. The majority oppressing an individual is guilty of a crime, abuses its strength, and by acting on the law of the strongest breaks up the foundations of society. The people are the ultimate guardians of their own liberty. It is error alone which needs the support of the government. Truth can stand by itself. Banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies. It is unfortunate that the efforts of mankind to recover the freedom of which they have been so long deprived will be accompanied by violence, errors, and even crimes. But while we weep over the means, we must pray for the end. My reading of history convinces me that most bad government results from too much government. That government is best which governs least because its people discipline themselves. When you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot in it and hang on. Whenever you are to do a thing, though it can never be known to anyone but to yourself, ask yourself how you would act were all the world looking at you and act accordingly. Commerce with all nations, alliance with none, should be our motto. Were it left to me to decide whether we should have a government without newspapers or newspapers without a government, I should not hesitate a moment to prefer the latter. We do not have government by the majority. We have government by the majority who participate. The God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. The hand of force may destroy them, but cannot disjoin them. Never enter into a dispute or argument with another. I have never yet seen an instance of one of two disputants convincing the other by argument. I have seen many on there getting warm, becoming rude and shooting one another. The spirit of resistance to government is so valuable on certain occasions that I wish it to be always kept alive. It will often be exercised when wrong, but better so than not to be exercised at all. It is neither wealth nor splendor, but tranquility and occupation, which give happiness. If people let government decide what food they eat and what medicines they take, their bodies will soon be in as sorry a state as the souls of those who live under tyranny. Do not bite at the bait of pleasure till you know there is no hook beneath it. Democracy is 51% of the people taking away the rights of the other 49%. Nothing gives one person so much advantage over another as to remain always cool and unruffled under all circumstances. But friendship is precious, not only in the shade but in the sunshine of life, and thanks to a benevolent arrangement of things, the greater part of life is sunshine. If a law is unjust, a man is not only right to disobey it, he is obligated to do so. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. Peace and friendship with all mankind is our wisest policy, and I wish we may be permitted to pursue it. The press, confined to truth, needs no other legal restraint. The honesty of people does not increase with their wealth. Never buy a thing, seduced by its cheapness. Such a thing, in the long run, will cost you dearly. An honest man can feel no pleasure in the exercise of power over his fellow citizens. Only two people will tell the truth about you: your mother and your enemy. I have no ambition to govern men. It is a painful and thankless office. An association of men who will not quarrel with one another is a thing which has never yet existed, from the greatest confederacy of nations down to a town meeting or a vestry. The will of the people is the only legitimate foundation of any government, and protecting its free expression should be our first object. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. I hold it that a little rebellion now and then is a good thing, and as necessary in the political world as storms in the physical. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because, if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason than that of blindfolded fear. The whole art of government consists of the art of being honest. Dissent is the highest form of patriotism. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences of attending too much liberty than to those attending too small a degree of it. Never trouble another for what you can do for yourself. I was bold in the pursuit of knowledge, never fearing to follow truth and reason to whatever results they led. Pride costs us more than hunger, thirst, and cold. I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. Action will delineate and define you. Tyranny is defined as that which is legal for the government but illegal for the citizenry. It is reasonable that everyone who asks for justice should do justice. Our liberty depends on the freedom of the press, and that cannot be limited without being lost. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free, in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. He who knows best knows how little he knows. A coward is much more likely to seek quarrels than a man of courage. Never fear the want of business. A man who qualifies himself well for his calling never fails of employment. The dead should not rule the living. Difference of opinion is helpful in religion. I do not take a single newspaper, nor read one a month, and I feel infinitely happy about it. Delay is preferable to error. The profession of a lawyer consists in questioning everything, disagreeing with everything, and talking endlessly. I am convinced that the soul of every person rejoices when he does good to another. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. Determine never to be idle. It is wonderful how much may be done if we are always doing. An enemy generally says and believes what he wishes. Every citizen should be a soldier. This was the case with the Greeks and Romans, and must be that of every free state. The bulk of mankind is schoolboys through life. No more good must be attempted than the people can bear. An error of opinion may be tolerated where reason is left free to combat it. The natural progress of things is for liberty to yield and governments to gain ground. The advertisement is the most truthful part of a newspaper. The beauty of the Second Amendment is that it will not be needed until they try to take it. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. How much we suffered because of what did not happen, but could only happen. One man with courage is the majority. The tree of freedom needs to be watered from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. This is a natural fertilizer for it. He who permits himself to tell a lie once finds it much easier to do it the second time. Great innovations should not be forced on a slender majority. When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, count to 100. He who gives up his freedom for security receives neither. The most valuable of all talents is that of never using two words when one will do. Laws are written for ordinary people, so they must be based on ordinary rules of common sense. I have seen enough of one war and never to wish to see another. To compel a man to furnish funds for the propagation of ideas he disbelieves and abhors as sinful and tyrannical. There is nothing more unequal than the equal treatment of unequal people. Every day is lost in which we do not learn something useful. Man has no nobler or more valuable possession than time. There is a natural aristocracy among men. The grounds for this are virtue and talent. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. For the selfish spirit of commerce, there is no homeland, no feelings, and no principles, only profit. That government is the strongest of which every man feels himself a part. I think one travels more usefully when they travel alone because they reflect more. Health is worth more than learning. Laws must go hand in hand with the progress of the human soul. The sermon should be our lives, not our words. Information is the currency of democracy. Where the press is free and every man able to read, all is safe. If our house is on fire, without inquiring whether it was fired from within or without, we must try to extinguish it. Democracy will cease to exist when you take away from those who are willing to work and give to those who would not. Honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. Be polite to all, but intimate with few. The boisterous sea of liberty is never without a wave. Never spend your money before you have earned it. The happiest moments of my life have been the few which I have passed at home in the bosom of my family. The sovereign invigorator of the body is exercise, and of all the exercises walking is the best. I know no safe depository of the ultimate powers of the society but the people themselves, and if we think them not enlightened enough to exercise their control with a wholesome discretion, the remedy is not to take it from them, but to inform their discretion.
Thank you for watching. Comment with your favorite quote.